Greetings and salutations, and welcome back to the Project 1999 Everquest Classic server, where we are continuing our guide about how to start from absolute scratch. So last time, to recap, we hit level 6, we went to the Warrior Guild and trained Bash and Dodge. We had a little tailoring overview, and we learned about the wonders of the skinning knife. We also had a few fletching failures, and that is because I was trying to make an elm bow, and the skill to make the elm bow is far greater than my current skill in fletching. So instead, we did the right thing and also the cheap thing and made the hickory bow. Now I should have known better since it cost 2 plat per elm staff, but it just didn't register at the time, and I've now corrected that problem. So what is our progress report from last time? Well, we are well into level 8, and we got there by bashing and slashing our way through bears, tree snakes, skeletons, and occasionally shadow wolves. Those pretty much are green and low blue, easy to beat, and of course we weren't here to level, we were here to collect things like bone chips, spider silks, and quality hides. And we've done that. We've also achieved 200 skill in tent heading, so hooray, we beat Everquest. And you can see that my fletching skill is now 18, which was up from I think 5 or 6 from before. And our tailoring skill has maxed out at 31 because we have been making lots of leather padding. So, what have we collected since last time? Let's take a look. I think that volume is a little loud. Alright, so we have made some arrows in our hickory bow, and we've collected 2 backpacks full of bone chips. And we have created 46 items of leather padding. So, if we go to the tunnel and sell this, we could have somewhere around 600 plat worth of things to sell. And I think that's what we want to do. So, let's head to the tunnel from the entrance of Neriak. And we're going to hide all those corpses because OCD. Now, on the way to the tunnel, which, well, Neriak, first of all, in Nectulos Forest, which is misty forest that we are here. Neriak, the city, is in the northeast corner of Nectulos Forest, and the entrance to East Commons is in the southeast corner. So basically we're going to go almost directly south, but we're going to take the road just to be safe. There are some rather dangerous monsters on the way, especially if you miss the bridge. There are piranhas in the water that will eat you for lunch. So as we're passing by, this is actually the newbie log. I just want to go over quickly what my process was for collecting all of the things. And basically, you can see this bear here. Basically, here's what I did. At the end of the newbie log, over the ridge to the southeast, there are 2 bears that path this way. One comes about here, and one comes right up to about here. And so what I did was, I killed those 2 bears, and then I run over to where that bear was over here, and wait for him. And then I would just kill anything that drops something I'm interested in between. And I would start a timer because things respawn in Nectulos about 6.5 minutes after it dies. So I would kill my 3 bears, and occasionally there'd be a bonus bear in here somewhere. I never did figure out where his spawn point was. And now actually this bear doesn't spawn here, but if you noticed, he came right up here, and if you looked right over this hill here, this is to the northeast, he kind of passed right over the hill and then comes right up to about here and stops. So I'd kill those 2 bears, I'd run over here and wait for this one to pass this way, and then I'd kill everything in between. There's lots of creeping crawlies spiders and skeletons and snakes and anything that gives experience, or drop something that I want. And that's basically what I did. And then when you get to about level 7 or 8, you can do something called the 2 bears in a pyramid routine, which is you kill these 2 bears that come here, and then you run over the ridge here. There is a pyramid, which is the wizard spire, which is the destination for the wizard port, and there's one of the bears in this little routine. So the pyramid is the wizard spire, which is the destination for Nectulos for teleport spell. So I kill those 2 bears and I come here. You can see that there is some skeletons here. Now this one is rather weak, but this is a static spawn. He's going to spawn here and then not move. And there are 2 more to each side, and also a wanderer that comes, and he actually kind of comes in this tree over here. I forgot about him. This white tree. Yeah, sometimes he gets stuck in this white tree over here. And if he is in there, you can just sit, and he'll see that you're sitting, and he'll attack you. So here's the routine. Kill bear number 1, bear number 2, kill this skeleton here, then run over the ridge, and kill the 3 static skeletons. There's Mr. Bear. We'll leave him alone for... oh, I guess we won't leave him alone for now. So, you can see he is still blue to me, so I can get to level 9, basically, just by killing bears. Grumpy bears. Maybe he'll drop a high quality pelt. Wouldn't that be wonderful? Look at that bear haymaker. Fortunately, I have my shield on that side. Alright, he's running. You are vanquished, Sir Bear. I was going to leave you alone. And what did we get? Low quality whale skin. We'll take that. There we go. So we'll take silk thread and the low quality and add 1 more leather padding to our pile. And we're low on silk threads, so we'll just make 1 because I like a tidy inventory because OCD. So, where was I? Okay, so go to the newbie log, kill bear number 1, bear number 2, the skeleton in the tree, and I'm going the wrong way. There's bear number 2. Here's the skeleton in the tree, and see, he's blue. These aren't the decaying skeletons, mind you. These are a bit tougher. And now, he might actually beat me up a little bit because I'm wearing absolutely no armor. And we are going to go to the tunnel to rectify that. So, it goes bear number 1, bear number 2, skeleton in the tree, and then the 3 stag spawns over by the pyramid. Now there is a potential problem with the pyramid spawns, and I will get to that in just a moment. No bone chips. So, okay, here's the pyramid spawn. You can see the one that I just killed. I just left it there so we could see it. And there are 2 on the side. Now the problem is, usually these are skeletons. Sometimes there can spawn some really nasty, I don't think it's a putrid zombie, I think it's actually a lesser mummy. So this zombie we can take. You can see I've considered him, and he's blue, so he's no problem. So we're going to kill him really quick. Well, as quick as I can kill him anyway. So what happens is, if something spawns here that's too tough for you, that's no problem. What you do is you pull him with your bow, so you have quite a head start on him, and then you just run him to the guards and have the guards deal with him. Because the newbie guards over at Neriac Entrance, I think they're level 50, they're pretty buff. So it's kind of a long run, but that's how you get rid of the spawn that you can't handle. Now, if this spot is camped, meaning a person or group of persons has been hunting here, you kind of leave them alone. They have the right to it since they've been here first. And I'll show you another spawn point past the bridge, which pretty much has the same kind of monster spawn. You can see he beat me up pretty good, 40% in one fight. That's not great. And then there's the third one on this side, which somebody had just pulled apparently. So yeah, that's great. So that's that, which I call Two Bears and the Pyramid Routine. So we're going to head east, or actually northwest, back to the road. Here we go. And we want to follow the road because eventually there's going to be a river and a bridge, and you really want to go over the bridge at this level. Those piranhas are pretty tough, and you can see there's some bears here. They are green, and we're going to head south now, and the bridge should be coming up pretty soon. So one of the reasons why I like to concentrate on those bears is because I'm looking for high quality pelts, which I've received one and I banked it because I plan to make that pelt into a backpack, a 10 slot backpack. Okay, so here's the bridge. You can see the river here is quite wide, and swimming is a skill in Everquest Classic. So if you have low swimming skill, like we do, it's going to take you a long time to swim across that wide river. All the while you're going to be chewed on by piranhas, which I think are level like 15 or 20 or something like that. So you definitely want to cross the bridge until you can handle those piranhas, or be high enough level where you can just simply ignore them. So we want to continue south here, because the entrance to East Commons, like I said, is in the southeast corner pretty much. The other danger is, especially when you can see the entrance, it's kind of like a tunnel. Not the tunnel, but a tunnel for the exit. One thing you want to be careful about is this gentleman right here, Travis Two-Tone. Actually, I'm surprised because I worship Enrock that he only glowers at me dubiously. I thought he would be attack on sight, so actually that's pretty good news. So here is the exit to East Commons. And the other hunting area that I mentioned previously is right here. You can see we have a zombie. These are 3 spawns. You can see these 2 up front, and the skeleton in the back. You can see they're blue and green. And sometimes you do get a green skeleton, and that's okay because sometimes you need a break anyway, and you know, whatever, it's free bone chips. So this site is nice, just like the last site, except when those higher level monsters come, and then you have to run all the way across the zone, pretty much due north from here to the Nariak entrance to get rid of them. Or sometimes you can use the OOC channel, which is /OOC, which stands for out of character. You can say something like, please help kill, you know, I think they're called lesser mummies, at the, and this is called the obelisk, I think. And if you just say that and hit enter, we don't need help now, so I don't want to have everybody actually run over here. Most high-level characters passing through will come help you out, and they'll probably buff you up as well. I mean, as I said in the first part of the guide, the Project 1999 server has a very strong player community. Generally, people are nice and they want to help you out, so they won't mind doing that. So, here we go. We're going to zone, and fortunately, I figured out my long zode issues. The last 2 last two episodes of this guide, I had really long load times, which was really puzzling, and it turns out that it was my virus scanner and Windows Defender and Windows 10 not really liking each other, and boom, see how fast that was? So I've resolved that issue. I did not want you to think that these long load times was actually the game, because it's not. It's those other things that I just mentioned. So here we are. You can see we have entered East Commons, and it's really easy. Coming out of this little tunnel area, it's pretty much straight, due south. Be careful if you are lower level. I'm 8, so I'm going to be relatively safe. There are some cougars and pumas and things that will eat your face, so just be wary of that. But level 8 is a pretty good level. You can see all the spam, the lovely, lovely spam here in East Commons of people buying and selling their wares. It's kind of a pain that there's no auction house, but it's kind of nice. It keeps buying and selling a very social thing instead of, you know, an anonymous thing that you just interact with the auction house. And it's cool too because I like to haggle. I don't know if most people do or not, but I like to haggle. So when you have a live person, you can haggle a little bit. I mean, it's kind of like, I don't know. Maybe a lot of people don't like that, but it's like buying a car. I don't buy a car without haggling a lot before I actually agree on a price. So I kind of like that element of it. The negative about it, and you can see the tunnel from the distance here, it's just a huge tunnel that was dug right into the side of this mountain. The bad thing is you literally have to stand here if you want to buy and sell things. So some people have a job that they can do this at work and just, you know, check in every 15 minutes or half an hour, whatever. And you can see people die a lot here because they are encumbered, and they come like that person and jump off this little ramp, and because they're encumbered, they take a lot of fall damage. So we're just going to clean that up. So here we are, we made it. So what we want to do is we want to start an auction. To do that, you do /auction, and generally the etiquette is you start off with whether you're buying or selling, so all capitals, WTS. Now an interesting thing about capitalization here is that the caps lock key does not work. So if I hit caps lock and say WTS, it doesn't work. So what you have to do is literally hold shift down and then do your capitals, which makes it harder to type, and I kind of like that feature. I'm not sure if that was intentional or not, but the net result I think is a positive one. Otherwise, you would just have everybody typing in capitals, you know, whatever their message was. So I kind of like that. We'll call it a feature. So you start the auction with a WTS, which means want to sell. And I generally like to put my good items first, so leather padding and bone chips. And to get these windows, you right click, hold when the window pops up, and drag off. It's really kind of awkward. So right click, hold, and then drag off. Otherwise, if you don't drag, I'm just right clicking, holding, and then letting go of the right mouse button. You gotta hold and drag. So I want to sell leather padding. So to get this nice, cool links in here, you have to hold shift and then left click. So I'm saying I want to sell leather padding, 10 plat each, and I want to be very explicit, and I have 47. So I just say X47. And then to keep things neat, I like a little vertical bar. And then I say bone chips, oops, space, left click while I'm shift holding, and you get a click on the little icon. Bone chips, 10 plat per stack, and I have 16 stacks times 16 stacks. And that's it. Hit enter, and you can see my text pops up here. Now, if I was really interested in buying things, I make this screen really big and I read everything. There were a few auction sites that helped you see when things went on, went for sale. Unfortunately, those don't work very well anymore. So now you have to do manually reading. So I'm just going to sit here, spam every so often, and hopefully someone sends me a tell because they're interested in my merchandise. So we're just going to hang out for a bit and see if we get lucky. Here's somebody wanting to buy bone chips, 10 plat a stack. Okay. And I say, greetings, how many stacks do you want? It's a person I don't know before, I've never seen before. I say, he says, as many as you want. Okay. I have 16 stacks. Wow, we might get really lucky here. So I'm basically just made 160 plat unless we start haggling for price. He says he'll take them all at the standard price of 10 plat each. Okay. Now I'm going to ask him, do you want the backpacks as well? Just to make it easier for the transfer. I am at the tunnel entrance, Freeport side. His name is Inchy. Okay, so he's going to trade empty backpacks just to make the transfer easier. Now I'm just waiting to see if he's coming here or am I going somewhere else. Now you might be wondering, why are bone chips so much in demand? Oh, here he is, right here. Oh, that's a nice shirt. I don't think I've ever seen that before. So the way you do a trade is, let's see, this is 3 and 4. Just drop it right onto him, and it goes right in there. And you can look at it, what's in there, by opening the backpacks. He's going to trade me and 2 empty backpacks just to make it easier. And he's going to give me 160 plat. There we go. And trade. And my backpacks, his backpacks get switched. He says, thank you. Thank you so much. That is my very first sale. And it is too. That was amazing. So sometimes you get lucky when you get here. It's hit or miss. I tend to try to get here, let's see, today is Monday, 11 p.m. Eastern time. So you kind of got to get here at prime time, and then tends to be a bit luckier. So now that I've sold those, I have to update my message because all my stacks of bone chips have just been sold. Feel a little bit rich. And now we're going to try to sell this leather padding. He's laughing at me because I'm a noob. Noob sauce. Noob sauce. I know. Yeah, and I spelled sauce wrong. Oh, speaking of wrong spelling, yeah, I was wrong about that misspelling of palette. That is correct. I was thinking about the artist board palette with all the paints on it. Yeah. Been there. Huh. Wow, I'm so excited that was easy. I was afraid we'd have to wait here forever. So, anyways, why are bone chips in such high demand? It's because necromancers need them to summon their pets, and the higher level pet summons cost 3 bone chips each, so they go through them pretty quickly. Also, there are a lot of quests you can do, especially if you are a good or neutral character slash race slash class, where you can give a quest to NPC some bone chips and you get a lot of experience, and that happens to be excuse me, in the dwarf city of Caledon, which is on another continent, which you could have saved them. I could have saved them for myself to do, but I'm a dark elf warrior of Inarok, so they're not going to want to talk to me. That would be a good topic for, say, a power leveling guide. But I'm really trying to introduce kind of a strategy to start from scratch and get some money. I mean, the 160 flat, it's not a huge sum of money. I mean, I know people have, hundreds of thousands of flat, but when you're just starting out, that's a lot, and 160 flat is going to go very far for what I think I have planned next. Not going to go into that right now because I have not decided yet, but so I would just sit here and spam every 5 minutes or so. I mean, there's a lot of spam going on, so sometimes your messages are going to get missed, and now I'm just ecstatic that that happened. So, while we are sitting here trying to sell our wares, we aim to be the hardest working warrior in all of Norath. So while we're standing here, well, we don't need to stand here is what my point is. We can get to work. There's a puma, for example. We can kill him while we're selling. And there's a little bear cycle by this to the right over here is an inn. You can see that's a dead bear over there. There's a little bear cycle over there that we can do while we're trying to sell things. So I will go show you that, but it looks like it might be taken. But I will give it a whirl. Here's a puma. And pumas are nice to fight because they drop cat pelts, which we can turn into padding, or if it's a high quality and our tailoring skill is sufficient, we can make quivers out of them. So we're collecting things, getting some experience, and selling all at the same time. That is multitasking at its best. Now, at the moment, I'm not looking to buy anything in particular. Low quality kit, we'll take that. So I pretty much have the freedom to run around. Close this now. Thank you very much, Inshi. To run around and fight things and not have to pay attention to the spam because I'm not looking for anything. Oh, and this bear just spawned, and he's a blue one. So let's take him down. No one is sitting here, so it seems like this camp, quote-unquote, is open. So I don't really have to pay attention. I can just, hit enter and then hit shift up arrow to bring up the text that I sent last and just keep spamming as I'm fighting and being sort of efficient with our time here. So here's a bear. He spawns right here, right where we're standing. There's another bear that comes over this hill, kind of between these two trees, and there's another bear that spawns somewhere right here, and there's a cat that spawns and walks over here. And there's kind of a depression over here, and there's a bear that spawns over there. So while we are trying to buy and sell things, we can be collecting things at the same time and gaining a little bit of experience. So that's something that I like to do. I mean, this puma is blue, and he is really bringing it to me because we don't have any armor. Now I think once I get about 300 plat, and I think we might die actually. Fortunately, there's a guard over here, but I think he might kill me too. Nope, I'm dubious. Ooh, I'm going down. Going down. Guard, help! Help this poor warrior of Inarok! Come on, guy, help. He's gonna one-shot this puma. There we go. Oh no! I have... There we go. He's red to me, and he still took two... It must have been a level 7 puma. Whew, man. He really took me down. So, anyways, there's another bear that spawns over here somewhere. And then behind the inn, there's a wolf that paths along the sandy hill area. And there's a tree behind here where a cat always spawns, or actually sometimes it's a zombie. So I don't remember what the level of the zombie is, so just be careful. But yeah, I'm gonna right here. Looks like an asp. Oh, so there's something that spawns here, and there's that wolf. So yeah, and there's one of the bears, but we are too injured. I did not expect that puma to beat me up so badly, but. And I did not bring any bandages. So what happens when you get low health, monsters won't get off you. You have what's called low health aggro, and that's 20% or less. Usually if you have higher health than that, you have certain classes that can pull things off you easily using spells and other abilities. But once you are below that 20% mark, they're in for the kill. They're all in for the kill. So that's why the guard, I have to scroll up a bit to see that, was taking huge chunks out of that puma. Let's see, 51 points, and the puma's like, yeah, whatever, I want the kill. So yeah, that's a thing. And when you are low on health, you run slowly and your agility goes way down. So you can't get away and you're easy to hit. So you gotta be careful about that. Actually, it might be safest to go rest up in the tunnel. There's a lot of high-level characters in the tunnel, and sometimes they heal you and buff you, and just because. Again, the player community is really good here, really strong. Oh, and there's somebody who the guards are not happy with. Looks like he was trying to kill guard Reskin here. And he looks like some kind of shaman. See a Hootie, that's for who target. And he's a warrior, barbarian warrior. So training guards into the tunnel like that is a horrible idea, because you don't know who's in the tunnel or who you're going to kill because of faction issues. So that is just, whoever this guy is, that's just bad form, sir. Very bad form. Now usually if you're running a train like that, you should shout and zone. Train to tunnel or train to zone or whatever. And I don't think I saw anything like that. So pretty much, here's a shout. That's him actually. I don't know. That was just bad form. You don't really want to train high-level monsters or guards into any area where people have congregated, because you can just get people killed and that gets people angry. It's just better if you get into really trouble, just eat the death. Eat your own death instead of causing deaths to others. That's just bad form. Anyways. So, perhaps somebody will buy our stuff. That would be amazing. We'd have a little over 600 plat, and then I think we would start smithing, because we are pretty much naked. Actually, we are definitely naked. And I could take this money and I could buy a suit of armor. The suit of armor that I would aim for would be called banded. It would cost me about 100 plat. I could just buy it, or I could spend about 300 plat and have my character make it, and then I could turn around and start selling it. So I think I like that plan better for the long term. So I think that's going to be the next step. So I'm going to sit here and try to sell and rest up, and next time I think we'll do some smithing if I have some sales. So until then, safe travels.